Inventor Holes Activity video number 1. So I make your new folder in your L drive, and then for this, I want to make this rectangular prism, 5 wide, 2 high, and 3 inches deep. And in Inventor, you can see I already have this. I already made mine. There's my width of 5 inches, my height of 2 inches, and I extruded it back 3 inches deep. Now, we want to make these 4 holes. And this is, I'm looking at the front view here. So these 4 holes are drilled in the front. So there's my width of 5. And if I do the math here, that adds up to be 4 1/4. So this is 3/4 of an inch there. And notice that the center line of these holes are also at 1 inches, up, or they're halfway in the height there. So I'm going to put a new sketch on the front here. Now, on this sketch, I'm going to use the point command. I'm going to put my 4 points there. So it was 1 inches up. I'm going to get a green dot here. Once I get the green dot, I can see them right at the center. So I'm going to go, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I'm going to dimension these. And I want this one was 3/4 of an inch. And 1 1/4 inches between these two. 1 1/4 inches between these two. And 1 inch between these two, or 3/4 of an inch to the left edge there. Now, I've got those 4 holes where I have the 4 points where I want them. So I'm going to finish this sketch. And now when I go to my hole command, when I go up here to up to the ribbon here, and I click on the feature of holes, notice it selects all of them. I don't want all of them. I just want to make this first one. So we need to deselect the other holes. You press down the Shift key and then Shift, and you do a left click right at that point. Left click, Shift and left click, and it deselected those holes. Now this first hole needs to be a counter bore. Outer diameter 3/4 of an inch, going 1/2 inch, plunge depth of 1/2 inch, and a good inner diameter is 1/2 inch, going 2 inches deep. So this first one, I want to make this one a counter bore, and it had a 3/4 of an inch was the outer diameter. It went 1/2 inch deep, and then it didn't go all the way through. The inner diameter was 1/2 inch, and it went 2 inches deep. So the distance, change that to a distance of 2 inches. Now there's that one. Now I want to make the next hole, but notice that my sketch is gone. So what you do here, you come over here to your browser, and I'm going to expand the chevron to that feature. And there's my sketch. That's sketch 2 that had the other points that I want to use. So I'm going to press right click and then share sketch. Watch what happens here. It moves that sketch out to the same level in my browser as my other features, so I can use it I can reuse that same sketch for other features. So I press my hole command again. Notice it selects all 3 of them, and I want to deselect, so I'm pressing Shift and click, Shift and left click. And this one, I want this next one to be a counter sink. 1/2 inch diameter is the inner diameter, going all the way through, and the outer diameter is 1 inch. So I want this one to be a counter sink, and it was 1 inch was the outer diameter, and 1/2 inch was the inner diameter, and this one went all the way through. Okay, and you'd be able to, on your own, you can get holes, you can finish holes, the 3rd and 4th one. Now you want to save this. You want to save this per directions, last name, first initials, holes activity. So I will save this. I will save this in your new folder per the directions there. And if you want to turn off the visibility, if you're all finished, you might want to turn off the visibility of that shared sketch.